Hi Mystics, welcome back to my channel, Ambrosia's Mysterium. Today we're going to be doing a parallel universe reading, and this is something I've wanted to do for a while now. It's something that I kind of specialize in and take a lot of joy in doing for other people. I work with timelines a lot in my day-to-day life, so I thought it'd be fun to do the same thing with you guys. So I think I'm going to call this reading a parallel universe reading, but essentially today we're going to be tapping into one of your alternate selves and seeing who they are, what message they have for you, and what they need you to know at this point in your life. So you guys are going to see 4 pictures pop up onto the screen, and you guys can take a deep breath, listen to your intuition, and once you've picked your picture, the timestamps will be in the description box below. Hi group number 1, so you guys had this image, and let's get into your reading. So I want to say, like, just a second ago, I pulled all your cards, I had them all laid out, and then I was sitting there and I was like, this doesn't feel right, so I actually re-cleansed the space and I am going to restart your entire reading. I don't know why, it just felt a little murky and weird, so we're gonna restart, but we'll see if similar cards come out and see what the deal is. We're going to be starting off with 2 tarot cards and 2 archetype cards, and I actually was guinea pigging with your group, and I'm going to do 2 for your alternate self, 2 archetypes, 2 for you currently, and 2 archetypes for you currently as well. So group number 1's angels, guides, and ancestors that serve their highest good. What is their alternate self that's connecting with them, or who are they? As I drop all the cards. Who is their alternate self? Alright, I'm going to get these all situated out so you can see them clearly, and we will be right back. Okay, group number 1, your guys' first tarot card is the Strength card to describe your alternate self. And then your next one is the Ace of Wands, which did actually come out last time. And then your alternate self is described as the Teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Then we have Rebel, challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. And then last but not least, we have Child Orphan, independence based on learning to go at it alone. I feel like whenever I read this card, I always feel like it has a typo, but it says independence based on learning to go it alone, which I feel like it's go at it alone, conquering fear of surviving. And then you guys are described with the tarot cards as the 5 of Cups reversed. And then we have the 3 of Swords. And then we have the Liberator, which says freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. And then we also have the Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Group number 1, I just want to start off by saying that your guys' energy is very, very different from what I feel like I typically read. However, I don't want to say like this pile isn't people, like my subscribers or people that I read for frequently, but it just feels very masked. I literally feel like I'm peeling off layers of a person to try to like see the core of you. It feels like it's really hard to see what you actually are, because I feel like you're a mirror, and whenever I'm trying to read you, you're mirroring back things, but it's not you. I don't know how to explain it. It makes me think of a carnival where there's like the Hall of Mirrors, and you walk in and you can't figure out what the real version of them is. I feel like that's me when I'm trying to read you. It's like I see something that's Technicolor, and it's funny to say that because we had a picture that was Technicolor in color. But you guys weren't that one. You guys were the flame picture, if I'm remembering correctly. You guys were the flame picture, the person like burning. And it is so hard to dig through your energy to see that version of you, which I find ironic because we literally have the Fool card here, which says that you're fearlessly showing emotion, but it's the emotions that you want other people to see. And I think the big difference between this version of you and this version of you is you no longer hide certain aspects of yourself from other people. You view those emotions that you hide currently as your biggest strength, and you're admired for it. It is so odd. I don't know, it's so odd. The energy of this is so strange. Like, out of the hundreds of people I've read, it is so peculiar. Like, I've never felt anything quite like this. But then I also am inclined to say that I have read for some of you that are in this pile before, because I don't know, it's like a hint of familiarity that I feel, but it's also like this specific facet of you that I'm plucking out with this reading is a version of you, a fragment of you that you do not like to be seen. Okay, group number 1, I had to sit with your energy for a bit, I know you've just heard me talk about how it's hard to read this energy specifically. And I'm pretty sure, let me think. I'm gonna stare at you currently for a second. I do want to pull cards for what the hell the 5 of Cups is about and what heartbreak you're going through, what kind of loss that is, if it's a physical loss, if it's an emotional thing, mental thing. What is the 5 of Cups and 3 of Swords about? Group number 1's higher self. I feel like it's your higher self that would be, oh my lord, look at this. Okay, let's set up this story here. So we've got the High Priestess, the Ace of Swords. I'm not sure if you guys can see this on the camera, but bear with me. Oh my gosh, we have the 3 of Swords again. I don't know if it'll focus, if these are two in front of it. I just need to say that you guys have a fascinating soul. A very, very fascinating soul and energy. It reminds me of a, there's this picture that I debated using for one of the piles today. Sorry, I just looked at the camera and just the cards, the amount of, like, pure amount of cards is actually crazy. But there's this picture I almost used today for one of the piles, and I'm gonna insert it now, but the, like, way the water shimmers in that picture, that feels like the vastness of your guys' energy. It is so interesting. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record probably for this reading, in that aspect at least. Like, you guys just feel so rich and full of depth, and I feel like I could soak in your energy for days to try to unravel more and more bits of your, I want to say bits of your soul. You know what's so funny about this pile is I actually sat here for a second and I was like reconsidering reading today because your guys' pile just felt so mysterious in the sense that I was like, well, maybe the cards just aren't meant to be read today. Maybe I'm not supposed to be reading today. But it's just because you guys are really, really good at putting a front or a veil over aspects of your energy that you do not want read. I don't know if any of you are psychic or if you're just fairly naturally intuitive. I think it's a mixed group for this type of reading. I think it's very specific. Anyways, so who is your alternate self? Your guys' alternate self is somebody who's very naturally confident. This is somebody who knows how to create new beginnings for themselves and knows how to open up doors for themselves that were closed previously, and you're opening them by pure confidence alone. I feel like this alternate version of you is somebody who is very similar to this reality version of you. I should clarify that. If I'm gonna be honest, this version of you feels like a future version of you, someone who has healed certain aspects of yourself in this reality and quantum jump to a reality where you're much more, I want to say, emotionally free. There's a lot less burden on your heart, literally, which we'll get to in a second when we check out your energy currently. But this version of you doesn't have any limits on themselves. This version of you doesn't have any walls between who you truly are and what the world sees, which I think is a big aspect that we will touch on that is, I don't want to say it's holding you back currently, but it is hindering you currently, because I think you are still making forward motion despite certain filters you put on your energy, but you're still moving forward. There might be little lessons that you have to learn as you move forward, but there's nothing barricading you from aligning with the, I want to say, your ideal life. With the teacher here, we also have, I'll go with the child orphan. You guys are somebody who's learned how to be alone, and it's very interesting because when I tap into your energy, I honestly feel like you guys are surrounded by lots of people. Even now, if you wanted to teach a lot of people something, you have the audience for it, is what I want to say. I feel like you guys are already established in whatever field you're in, and if you wouldn't say that you are, I feel like you're still well known in your niche. I feel like you're somebody who is admired in your niche. If it's a work environment, I think you are still revered wherever you are. You don't even have to have a job, honestly, because I'm hearing some of you be like, but I'm not even in work. If you're a student, I feel like you're admired in your classes. If you're a new worker in a certain field, you're still already admired. Just apply it to where it fits for you. I just feel like if you guys wanted to teach a group of people about something right now, you could already be successful with pursuing that. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because it feels like your future self has really taken advantage of teaching people through whatever their career is. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be a typical career, because for many of you, I don't think you guys have a normal job of sorts. I feel like you guys have something unique. But I feel like you guys simply teach others by being a certain way. Your alternate self feels like somebody who's very confident, very Leo energy, honestly. Somebody who's a go-getter. Somebody, I want to say any fire sign, honestly. So like Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. You don't have to be that, but you embody that energy so well. And it's funny because I just remember that you guys had the literal fire card. And fire picture. But it's like in the future. I want to say this is a future alternate version of you. You guys, you take that fire and you've healed it, and you've managed to teach others by transmuting the fire within you. I feel like I need to touch on like you guys now before I get into the rest of your alternate self, because otherwise it just sounds a bit confusing. As you guys saw when I pulled cards, you guys kind of got a storybook of cards going on over here. With the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords, this is what I was saying earlier, but you guys are very tapped in. You guys are very naturally intuitive. Even if you wouldn't consider yourselves psychic, I feel like you guys have a very strong intuition as you go about and do things. And I want to say that this is the reason why you guys experience a lot of inner turmoil. And one, it's honestly really hard to explain your pain, because your pain feels very, I want to use the word divine. And I know it might sound a bit annoying the way I can't talk properly in this group. I haven't had this be a thing in a while since when I've read people. But you guys are just unique, I suppose. But with both of these Three of Swords here, you guys feel like there's this heartache. There's this... When I tap into it, it literally feels like someone has this noose around your heart. And it's interesting because I want to say my heart. Like, I think you guys experience emotions similarly to how I feel, and I feel like your guides are trying to point that out to me so I can explain it more authentically. I hope that makes sense. It literally feels like your guys' emotions when you feel something, and I don't know how I want to word it. I want to say your guys' emotions remind me of something divine. I know I just said that, but it's a divine thing in the sense that it feels like hellfire. It literally feels like you guys, no matter what you're doing in your day-to-day life, no matter what you're experiencing, because you're so intuitively tapped in and you know certain things that are meant to happen in your future, and specifically the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups reversed, I think there's a connection that is meant to be in your guys' life, a very significant connection. It could be a friendship. For most of you, it's something romantic. And because you guys are so tapped in and you're so aligned with this person, even if you've never met them in this life, your guys' hearts, I think this is finally coming into words, your guys' hearts, when I tap into the energy of your literal physical heart, like I'm seeing like the aorta and shit, it's literally like there's a noose tied around it in barbed wire, and it's like you constantly have this heaviness, this aching literally in your chest. And I don't want to say that this is something that you're aware of consciously all the time. It could be that for some of you, but for others of you, I think it's something that kind of sneaks up on you here and there. It's something that approaches you when you least expect it. It's something, I want to say it is constant, whether you feel it always or not, but it's this constant weight. And for some of you, I think it is because this other energy that's meant to be in your life is not there yet. This is somebody who's going to uplift you. This is someone who makes your life feel like a dream. This is somebody who makes you wear rose-colored glasses in the real world, is what I want to say. I feel like you guys are big dreamers. Perhaps at night, but also just in general. Like, you have big dreams for your life. You have big desires for your life. This is the type of group who would hold out to get married to someone they view as a soulmate, someone who feels fated, or this is someone who would hold out for their dream job, who wouldn't settle for something less than what they know they deserve. This is a group that has a lot of expectations for life, and I want to say in a very good way, in a very blessed way. However, when I tap into your current energy, there is such a sharpness in your literal heart. It's so strange, and I think that's why when I'm reading for you, I keep being like, I don't know how to explain this, I don't know how to put it into words. It's because no matter what I read for you on here, there's this constant sharpness in your heart. Like, we literally got these heart cards, like the Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak card, twice. But when I pulled cards, there's no cause for this heartbreak right now. Nothing. I don't feel like you guys have had a physical breakup. With the Ace of Cups reversed, it literally feels like this person hasn't had the chance to arrive in your life yet. With the Knight of Cups upright, it's not someone who you've met yet. But with the Ace of Swords here, as you guys see the Ace of Swords over there, it's somebody who you feel a connection to. It's someone who feels familiar to you, and you guys could dream about this person. For others of you, I feel like this is also, it doesn't even have to be a person, it could be a type of world. Like, you guys want this world to be a type of world that it isn't. And I don't say that in a bad way, like, I admire that about this group. How much you guys want more for this world. But it's like, because you guys are such visionaries, because you guys want to dream up so much and you have this beautiful vision for Earth, you have to live right now when it's not that. And you have to come to terms with that constantly, that it's not that. Especially right now when everything's a bit shitty. I just feel this heaviness constantly around you. But I think something that's so lovely about this reading for you guys is your alternate self has integrated all of that pain. That's why I wanted to touch in with you now, is because your higher self, oh my gosh. Your guides keep like tweaking my words. They're like, no, this is their higher self, but it's also their future self. And it's like, you guys are in the process of transmuting all of this heaviness you feel and becoming this version of you now. Your guys' alternate self is who you're meant to become, essentially, in this life. I'm sorry, we got off to a bit of a rocky start here. I don't know why it was so difficult for me to like dig into you guys, but you guys currently do feel like someone who holds a lot of power in whatever it is your career is. I think you guys awaken other people very naturally, and it's something that you guys enjoy as a soul. I think you enjoy I'm seeing like a visual of you guys liking to shake people off their feet a bit. I don't know if you guys like randomly flirt with people or randomly kind of like say things just to get a reaction out of people, but I feel like you guys are like good at getting people to kind of get out of their usual mindsets. The reason I was saying it's ironic that you guys have the Fool card here is because you guys show a lot of your emotions, but this Three of Swords energy is something that I think is very, very hidden currently. Like, it's funny because like there's a mask here, even though the Fool always shows their emotions, there's still a mask present on this card. And it's like you guys do wear a mask sometimes to hide this energy. Not this energy. Like, you still show what you want to be seen, but not something that, I feel like the pain you feel or the heaviness you feel in your heart is very soul deep, and it's something very personal to you that you don't like to share much with other people. But your future self has learned how to teach this to other people. Your future self has learned how to transmute this and integrate this and teach other people how to create I want to say diamonds with their pain. Like, you know how to, oops, sorry, I did not realize the screen was so blurry. You have taught yourself to transmute that pain and create lots of new beginnings for yourself, and to lead others into similar new beginnings. With the Rebel card here, that's why I wanted to touch on this card after. You guys push the bounds of reality, as well as your own emotions and your own experiences, and I feel like you're going to tell a lot of people stories about that in the future, and it's going to enable people to be awakened. It's going to enable people to become new versions of themselves, because they're going to see how you, and I think you're going to attract people with very similar strong emotions that you do. You're going to teach other people who are also going through what you went through how to pave a new life for themselves, just like you have. I think you guys feel very unique to the people around you. I feel like when you guys are in a room with other people, you guys are very loving and very caring, and you guys take care of the people around you. I feel like a lot of people come to you to be heard and to be seen. I think you see the core of other people very easily, even if other people don't see certain aspects of you. And I keep wanting to clarify, it feels ironic. It feels ironic that people don't see all of you, because you show a lot of emotions. You probably cry in front of other people, you probably get mad in front of other people, but there's certain emotions that you guys keep locked inside of yourself and you don't share with anybody else. That's what I want to make very clear about this reading. However, in the future, you do start to show this emotion, you do start to express it, and I want to see, I feel like it's because you encounter that connection, or like the world you want to be real, you start to see signs of it spawning in here. Yeah, you guys literally got the Lovers card. For many of you, this is a specific connection. It would not surprise me at all if this is my twin flame group. Like, hell, you guys are literally burning with emotions. Like, your guys' picture literally was burning on fire, and that's what you guys feel like underneath everything. It's so interesting. I know I'm gonna keep saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying, like, it's ironic and vice versa, but you guys never come across this way. I feel like when you're with your friends, even the people closest to you, you're smiling, you're happy, you're enjoying yourself. You have moments when you're mad or upset, but they don't see how deep this runs. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that. And this card especially, like, I feel like you guys, it's so interesting. You don't let yourself express whatever this pain is. It's like it's literally stored inside of you. I feel like so many of you have started to build such a beautiful life for yourself, and yet there's this one thing, which for many of you it could be this connection. It's like there's this one thing that you're like, well, why isn't this manifesting though? I've gotten all of this. I've gotten the career I want, the path I want. If you guys aren't that far along yet, it could just be you're pursuing the major you want, or whatever it is, the trade you want. But it's like, well, where's this connection? Or like, where's this friendship that I want? Where's this at? I have everything else aligning, but why isn't this? I feel like that's why there's such a big burning feeling. I feel like you guys' picture is a really good representation of what you guys feel internally, pretty much always. I feel like I'm hearing the song, what song is that? Like, it always goes back to you. It always goes back to you. Like, it just feels like it always goes back to this one thing. Like, everything is going so well, but you still have this ache inside of your heart because this one thing hasn't happened. And I just kind of feel you guys when you're by yourself, you're like, well, why? Why hasn't this happened? Why has everything else gone so well, but this one thing isn't working out? And it's interesting because I think there was a group I did a few weeks ago where I was saying, like, you could have been in a relationship or a couple relationships with people, and you tried to see them as this new connection, as this Lovers card we got earlier. You could be trying to see them as this person. I feel like you know that you're going to recognize this connection when you meet them. This is a very unique message, so I'm hoping group number 1 this makes sense to you guys, because it is a bit chaotic, but I feel like it's meant for who it's meant to. This is definitely a general reading, but it's specific to whomever is watching, I feel like, as well. It's very specific to a few, I feel. But I feel like with the Lovers here, I was saying that you could have been in a few relationships where you thought this person could be that person. And I want to say, like, I don't want to laugh, but deep down I feel like you guys knew that that person was never this person, but I also think you were like, well, maybe I can just be with this person instead. Maybe it's fine and I don't really have to, like, have this idea of the connection that I keep feeling. I want to say that you guys dream of this person, or you just know you'll recognize them, you just know you'll know them. It's a very cosmic feeling, it's a very spiritual feeling. And I know you said you guys could be a very intuitive group, like you guys do feel very intuitive. You literally have the High Priestess card over there. But it's like you guys used to convince yourself that certain relationships, and I want to say for some of you it's friendships too, because I think it kind of broadens into other aspects of your life because you're learning how to hold a connection this grand through your friendships. Look at your friendships sometimes and see, am I holding a friendship that's as important to me as what this connection would be if it's in my life? And if the answer is no, then perhaps some of those people in your life are not in your best interest. Like, if you're not going to have a friendship in your life, like a best friend in your life that you treasure as much as how much you treasure this romantic connection, then what are they doing in your life, right? Like, I feel like you guys are a quality group, and that's something your future self is very strict about, is who they let into their circle. And it's interesting because I think you are that now, but I think your future self is that even more so because you've met this person. We have the Ace of Wands here, like you've met this person. That passion, I want to say, started to be transmuted once you met this person. The fire, the burning feeling, the pain, whatever you want to refer to it as, started to be transmuted once you encounter this person. And I don't know if you guys met this person briefly. It's interesting. For some of you, you could have already encountered this connection, but it was very fleeting. Or someone who you met online, but you couldn't meet in person yet for whatever reason. Because we have the Ace of Cups reversed and the Knight of Cups. So you could have already met them. I think for most of you, you have yet to encounter them, and that is where the pain is from. But some of you could have encountered them briefly, but you're not physically with them. I don't think any of the people in this group are physically with this person. It literally feels like a twin flame group. And I don't usually use the word twin flame because of the rep it has, and you know, different people like different labels. But it feels like you're searching for this one person and everything else in your life is going swimmingly. Like, you're a liberator. You're somebody who's teaching so many different types of people. You're someone who connects with so many different types of people. You're someone who awakens infinitely. And I feel like you're someone who is a spark to people too, in a way. But it's like you're not at your full potential currently because you have this pain, you have this absence of a person. And it's not to say you aren't whole on your own, because you guys 1000% are. But I just keep feeling like your higher self wants me to point out that your future self has met this person, and that's why they started to transmute this energy. Because your reading is getting a bit lengthy, I'm going to actually scrap the board and just start fresh to figure out what it is specifically your alternate self wants you to know. Because this is a very, I don't want to say it's a heavy reading because I love this type of energy. I love the depth. I love how much you guys feel. You guys are such fierce lovers. You guys are the type of person who deserves a connection like this because you guys are just so fiery and full of depth and so... What does it make me think of? Like, you guys would walk through fire to be with this person. Literally like your guys' image. Your guys' image is the perfect representation of you as a soul. There's nothing you wouldn't do, I feel like, to encounter this person. I just love this energy. But I want to get a clear message because it took me a second to get there and I don't want this to be all dribbling. So, 1 second. Alright, your guys' first card. I don't know if I even need to read all of these. We'll do the main cards. We'll do the High Priestess. This is your first card. We have the Page of Cups. And we have Temperance. I don't want to make this too long for you guys, since it took a second to dive in. But, guys' alternate self. I'm going to briefly say your alternate self is someone very fiery. Your alternate self is someone who is a leader. I feel Emperor energy if you guys are familiar with tarot. Somebody who commands others to pay attention to them just based off of energy alone. Somebody who can make a big impact on a lot of different types of people because you embody a very wise, authoritative, pungent energy. You guys are somebody who sparks a lot of ideas, different types of people. You guys are somebody who's going to teach others how to do the same, not necessarily by a certain course or a certain teaching thing. Like, you don't have to literally be a teacher. I think you guys are the types of people who teach other people by simply being yourselves. I feel like just by existing as you are, and especially as you transmute the energy we were talking about earlier, you becoming that leader is what's going to really make a difference to other people. So your guys' alternate self's message with the High Priestess, and we also have the Seven of Swords. Your guys' alternate self is acknowledging that you were gifted some sort of information on the person we were talking about earlier. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but this person could be a... Interesting. I'm hearing for some of you this could be a birth relative of some sort. I don't know if some of you are adopted or some of you recently met someone, like your birth father, your birth mother, if you have a sperm donor father, or if you are like adopted in general. For some of you that's probably a specific person, but for some of you that's the case. For others of you it's a connection. For others of you it is a friendship, like a divine friendship. Take it as it resonates. But I feel like you guys have some sort of information on this. This has been coming up for the past, like, I want to say 3 weeks. There's been a group, you guys know some type of information about your person, and it's like you have to live with that information, and it's heavy because you know, but you can't act on it. Like the King of Swords here, you know a lot of information and you're very perceptive, and you're usually someone who uses their sword to command and to do things. But with the Page of Cups, it's like you're very knowledgeable, but you can't reach out. It's still in the beginning stages. For whatever reason, it's in the dreaming stage, not the taking action towards it stage. It's still kind of immature in development. But your alternate self is saying, with the Temperance card here and the Eight of Swords, any limitations on your personal growth right now, as you as a person, regardless of this connection, if you're getting stuck, it's because of you and your perception of the weight of this knowledge. Now let me backtrack and explain that in better terms. If you feel stuck because you know certain things about this connection, if you feel stuck because you're kind of impending them, is what I want to say, like you know they exist, you know they're out there, maybe you know who they are, where they are, whatever it is, don't get too caught up in figuring out the when or the how or the why. Your future self wants to make that very abundantly clear. This person will naturally, I'm seeing like you know when you're merging onto a interstate and it's like your car, you're like, all the other cars are going and you merge, you know, with them. I'm seeing that, like this person will naturally merge into your life, into your lane. You don't have to worry about it happening, because with the Temperance card for you, it feels like you have one foot in each door. You have one foot in this person and what this future with them may be, and you're daydreaming about it and you're thinking about it. And then the other cup, because there are 2 cups as you can see, is you in your day-to-day life acting on things in your 3D and creating the life you desire. I'm hearing like day-to-day work stuff as well. Perhaps some of you have a rather busy work schedule, but any entrapments that you're experiencing are because you're overthinking it. Don't worry too much about the how or the why or the when. Let the universe, let your guides or whatever you believe in God, in your angels sort it out. Literally like it's an angel depicted. Let them sort it out. You don't have to worry about it. Because I think this is something you guys have wanted to know for such a long time, or like wanted to gain awareness of this person for such a long time. And it's like, now that you know, you just want to like know all the answers, right? You're like, well, okay, I handled knowing this about them, well, now I want to know when it's happening. But your higher self and your alternate self's like, settle down, like take a breather, take a second. It's still in the beginning stages. And I'm hearing like appreciate it day by day. Some of you might be getting more information very gradually on this person. I don't know how or why. I'm not going to question your means, but take it day by day. Makes me think of the turtle card, like slow and steady wins the race. pulled 2 cards for what your alternate self wants to tell you you're becoming. And we have the Child Nature card, friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. Nature could be a really good healing spot for you guys right now while you're getting more information. It would definitely be a good time to take extra baths or showers, like whatever cleanses you, whatever refreshes you energetically, or going into nature. I'm hearing swimming though for some of you. I feel like water is very healing for this group. And then we have a Father, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Perhaps you guys, some of you could be literally like looking for your kid. Like it could be the reversal. Like I keep picking up when somebody in this group is adopted, or you put someone up for adoption, and like this is the person you're learning about or finally getting into contact with. Obviously that will be for a very specific person, but I also feel like for some of you, if you've ever wanted to be a parent, I think this is something that'll be in the cards for you once you are with this person way down the line. But I feel like it's almost a wink from your future self. See, I keep wanting to say future self instead of alternate self. Like this alternate self is a future version of you, who you are meant to become. I know I said that earlier, but I want to make that very clear. This is someone who you are meant to become, and so you're not gonna never meet this person. You're not gonna never end up with them and doing the things you want to do with them in this life, especially if having kids is something you do want to do. Have faith in the divine timing of things. And I also feel like the Father is another nod to you guys being a natural leader, and you guys having the ability to lead a lot of people very naturally because you possess this natural authority within yourself. And funny enough, the last card we got was the blank card again. I'm going to move these over. So you guys still keep your chameleon spirit throughout all of this. No matter how much you guys change or bend or mold, you're constantly easily adaptable to whatever environment you're in, which is something so lovely. Like you never get hardened by the world, and you're always someone very mutable with society. Alright, I'm going to pull some of these little green cards. Alright, we've got community. We've got held. And we've got the card abundance. So you guys' future timeline, this one with your alternate self, because for you guys it is your future self. This is a version of you in a timeline where you have a lot of abundance in your life, where I'm hearing that you're very comfortable with everything. Like you have enough money to go on as many trips as you want, to take time off, to do whatever it is your heart wishes. I feel like you guys are really above the constraints that most people are with their day-to-day schedules. I also feel like you guys will have encountered a lot of community. You'll have a very rich inner circle. I know I said earlier that you guys are rather selective with your inner circle, and I do think that still holds, but I think you guys have really gathered a family for yourselves, and you've kind of found different connections and different souls of you guys as you guys have experienced life, and it's like you've collected people is what it feels like. But you guys have a very familial community around you, and people who really support you. With held here, I think this kind of takes a nod back to how you guys have this deep core wound or deep core burning emotional flavor as well, I'll call it. However, your future self is saying like it is held eventually, like that future version of you has healed that and has been able to integrate it back into themselves without it hindering them anymore, without it being a hole. It's now something that's been filled in and healed by this connection, but also yourself, by also letting yourself let go of the past and that past hurt. I think it's a kudos to yourself as well as whomever it is helped you. This is very random group number 1, but I feel like some of you guys are smokers or something. When I read for you, I sometimes get is it clairalience? Is that the one that's smelling, or is that tasting? I don't know. Clairgustance? I don't know. I can smell cigarette smoke though when I read for you guys sometimes, so perhaps some of you guys are smokers. Can I please have 2 more messages for what their person would say? I'm gonna pull a few message cards on behalf of you guys' person. Whether it's we have a lot. You guys' guides like to throw out a ton of cards for you. So we've got I want you in my arms. We've got, this is them to you, by the way. I wanted to pull some of these since you guys are having a little separation pain recently. You were created just for me. Oh my gosh, they're all so romantic. You hold my heart. If it'll focus. Oh. We have, we don't fit together, but it was reversed. Which, this is what I was saying earlier. Some of you could have encountered this person, or some of you may be wanting to meet this person now, but I feel like this is why it's not coming in right now, because we also have, I can't commit to you. I think right now if you were to meet this person in person, right now the timing isn't right. Like, the things that you'd want to jump right into wouldn't happen organically or healthily, because I think the person you're wanting to connect with is still working on some things, as well as you. For you, it feels like there's certain things in your physical reality that need to manifest, whereas this person you're aligning with feels like they're still healing stuff emotionally within themselves. It feels reversed in that way. They feel more of the divine feminine, like they're learning something emotionally, whereas you guys feel like the divine masculine in that sense. Yeah. Group number 1, I'm sorry if this was a very confusing reading. I feel like I need to apologize because it was such an all over the place reading. But yeah, I feel like that's all I have for you guys today. Please feel free to leave comments if you have some. I will definitely answer, because I know this was a tad confusing, but please feel free to like or subscribe if you feel called. I want to thank your guides and my guides, as well as you, for being here today, and I will see you in your next reading. Hi, group number 2. You guys had this image, and let's get into your reading. So, group number 1's was a bit of a chaotic reading, so I'm not sure what we're going to get with you guys today. I had a bit of a plan to like pull certain cards and do certain things. However, I think it might be a bit different for each group today, based off of what each of you guys need. So, group number 2's angels, guides, and ancestors that serve their highest good. What alternate version of them is most, oh, okay, it's falling on the floor. Is most important for them to know, is what I was going to say. And then we're also going to pull 2 cards for the current version of you. Thank you. And one more. This is, oh, I'm already getting messages. Yeah, this group is a lot more open than group number 1. Interesting. I love to see the difference in all of your guys' soul energy. I'm gonna switch sides because I feel like it makes more sense to have who you are now, alternate version of you, on the other side. And then we're going to pull 2 clarifiers. Please clarify the cards for, okay, or 3. And then please clarify. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, group number 2, for being open. I appreciate it. I'm joking. I love group number 1 too, but it's just funny to see the difference in your guys' energies. I'm going to set the rest of these cards up, and we will be right back. I'm actually hearing for you guys, group number 2, as I hit the camera, to draw or roll a couple zodiacs to confirm for you guys if this is your reading. So, can I please have a zodiac for group number 2? We have Virgo. We have Aries. I don't think I've ever gotten Aries on this channel. We have Gemini, and one more. We have Cancer. Perfect. Okay, so for who you are currently, we have the 7 of Wands. We have the Hierophant. I don't know if these want to focus today. We have the World card, clarifying it. I feel like these 2 go to here and this one goes over here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting downloads already. Sorry, I skipped over. We have the 8 of Wands. And these are both clarifying the 7 of Wands, sorry. I usually try to tell you guys in case you guys also read and wanted to see them, but I'm forgetting today. And then we have the 8 of Cups. And then for your alternate self, we have the World card again. Clarifying that, we have the Magician. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. And then clarifying that, we have the Justice card. Yeah. You guys are a really fascinating group. So with the 7 of Wands here, especially with it being clarified by the World and the 8 of Wands, it feels like you guys have this urge inside of you, this what do I want to call it? It's like a hidden desire or a hidden wish or something of that sort, where you have something you want to do. And for this group, I'm going to say it is something traveling related. It is something different from what you usually would do. And the reason I'm inclined to say travel is because the World card's present. It doesn't have to be traveling, but it is something that I feel is out of your element. It is different from your culture. And I want to pull a card to figure out what that is for you guys in specific. Can I please have one card for what this world is representative? Okay, we got 2. So we got the Hermit card, and we also got the 4 of Wands. Interesting. It feels like you guys have this hidden desire or this hidden urge to pursue something that is not considered normal where you're from. This could be pursuing a relationship that's outside of your culture. This could be traveling when you're supposed to be rooted, where you're supposed to be in one spot all the time. This could be simply leaving behind where you've always known and exploring a different place, like moving across the country or something. It feels like there's this, with the 8 of Wands here, there's this hidden urge, like a secret, I want to call it like a spark. Like when you think of this thing, you get this urge to just like run away from everything and do this thing. However, you're tied to your traditions, you're tied to your duties, I want to say. And it's very interesting because the alternate self that's being depicted for you is the version of you who had every chance to do this thing, and yet you didn't. So that's very fascinating. Your alternate version of you is the version of you who never did what the version of you now wants to do. So it's like you're getting a mirror of what happens if you don't do the thing you're thinking about a lot. I do want to pull one more card, sorry. Yeah, okay, group number 2. We're getting the Queen of Cups. I was like, okay, is this a connection? Because for some of you it feels like before a connection, it is a personal journey that you are on currently. That's why I put the card so far off to the side, is because it's not that significant yet. We will get into it. You right now, like I said, you have this urge to do something. I don't know if you guys, my groups today are so romantic, it cracks me up. But for you guys are a lot more logical about it. You guys feel like you're analyzing the situation, and right now you're fighting it off. With the 7 of Wands, you're trying to ignore it. You're trying not to think about this thing. I feel like this group is an all or nothing type of group. When you guys pursue someone or something, you put all your eggs in that basket and you pursue it until you earn it, until you achieve it. However, with this thing, you're fighting off that urge. Like, you know that you want to do that thing. You want to pursue it. You know that if you did it, it would make you very happy. But you're fighting it. I feel like for many of you, it's because it's tradition, like I said, like for whatever specific culture you're in or where you live or where you're from, you have a set of rules that you've made yourself abide by for a very long time. And it's like, you know, if you pursue this thing, this connection, this journey, it doesn't just feel like it's as simple as a connection. It feels like a journey in its entirety. Like, if you decide to pursue this person, you're setting onto a personal journey, because it isn't just about this person or this thing or this place. It's about the person you'll become to align with this person, if that makes sense. But the 8 of Cups, you'd be walking away from everything you've ever been taught to want. I don't know if you come from a very homogenous culture in the sense that, like, where you're from, everybody does things very similarly. If you're not from the United States, because I feel like the United States is like a mixing pot, but you could be from a family within the United States that of course is rather homogenous or doesn't praise diversity, but I feel like some of you aren't from the US. I feel like you're from cultures that are a lot more homogenous than here. It feels like it's something deeply rooted into how you think, like the way you dress. I feel like I'm hearing like the way you weigh. That's random. What you weigh, like your literal physical weight. You guys like keep a specific presentation of yourself, whether it's like how much you weigh, your hairstyle, your hair color, I don't know, I'm gonna list off a bunch of different things, but it's like the literal way you present yourself, how much you weigh and stuff. Where you're from, you like feel like you have to weigh a certain amount, which is, I personally don't feel like that's the US. I guess we are kind of on a trend right now in the US where you need to be as skinny as possible, but for you guys it feels like it's that to like a tenfold. Like, I don't know if you grew up with parents who were very strict on what you weighed or like body shamed you. If it's not like a culture, I feel like it could be something of that sort. Maybe you grew up around family members where everyone else had a naturally very thin build or athletic build and you guys weren't that way, so that's why you have this belief. It could be different for all of you, so take it where it applies. But I'm getting that for some of you it's literally down to like the weight you are. I feel like I need to tell this group to eat what you want. That's a really random thing to say, but don't be afraid to give yourself some nutrients and to indulge in some sweets sometimes. Don't hold yourself back from enjoying food simply because people have an idea of what you should look like. Or if you feel you have to look a certain way, why? Why do you feel that way? Are you looking that way because you want to? Or are you looking that way because you feel you have to? I don't know, I feel like you guys are talking about that, because I feel like your relationship with your body and with your food is something that's going to be, it's interesting. When I see like this new path with this person and everything, and then I see you right now, like that specific thing feels like it's going to be rather abrasive. I feel like this person you're attracting, because we got the Queen of Cups, they could be a water sign, so they could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. They don't have to be, but they're just someone who's very intuitive. It feels like somebody who is like this, who's very intuitive with their own body. I'm not going to say they're not going to respect you holding yourself to a standard you feel you have to hold yourself to, but I feel like it would be an abrasive thing. This is so random. I don't know why it makes me laugh. I think it's just so random, but perhaps if it's resonant for you, that's why it's getting brought up. But I feel like this person would kind of clock it. Like, if you're trying to look a certain way because you feel you have to, and it's not because you genuinely feel healthier that way, if you restrict yourself in any way that is toxic, this person is going to be an abrasive person to be around if you are dealing with something like that. Sorry, group number 2, my battery died for a second, but swinging back into things, the reason I feel this person is abrasive when it comes to perceptions like that is because, I know I just said it previously, they're very intuitive with themselves. I don't feel like this person restricts themselves from things. I actually am hearing that this person, the way they look, like appearance-wise, if they are, I'm hearing they have a really nice, like, physique and form, but the way they'll have achieved it is by being in flow with their body rather than restricting it, and so I think that is like a very personal thing with this person. This is so, I feel like this is so random. Sorry, I don't know, I'm overthinking it, but I was just trying to see why this is coming up. I think it's because for some of you, if you are dealing with things like that where you restrict yourself, you might not like if this person points out, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. I feel like that's a learning curve with this person and you. It feels like this person, I'm not going to say that they didn't grow up in a similar environment or that they didn't struggle with stuff like that too at one point, but I don't think, if this is a romantic connection, I don't think this person would be well suited to be in a connection with somebody who is forever going to be stuck in a loop like that. And it's not to say that, like, that's not a lovable aspect of you, but it's to say that this person just isn't compatible with that. I hope that makes sense. I didn't want to like word that insanely poorly, but it just feels like this person, how do I want to word it? Their guides are saying that it's like a lack of love. They want their person to love themselves enough to feel themselves, to enjoy life, to do things, and they don't want them to have this toxic perception of themselves or expectations for themselves because of society. They want them to love themselves and do whatever they wish. Sorry, okay, we're going back on track. But yeah, I think that's something that might be linked to some of you with your upbringing, your culture, your traditions. The Hierophant, it just feels like a lot of traditions and things you're expected to do. So this doesn't even have to always be for weight for some of you. It could be like our physical appearance. It could be like certain things you allow yourself to do, whether it's hobbies. For some of you, it even could be religion. Perhaps you haven't explored certain religions or spirituality because you're holding yourself back. I think the reason you're kind of triggered by this person, I think that's what this is. It kind of feels like this person triggers you, and yet you're equally intrigued. It's very interesting. It makes me think of like flint and steel. Like I see like the match sparking when you connect with this person. And I don't know if you've actually encountered this person before, if you see them online, if you because I hear that for some of you, but when you encounter this person's energy, it's like flint to steel. Like there's like matches striking, and you're with the Seven of Wands, you're like batting this person off like, okay, there's no need for that. Like I don't need to be around this person. I don't need to deal with that. But at the same time, you equally want to go toward them. And like this person would make you, to be with this person, sorry, I'm backtracking. To be with this person, you would have to walk away from a lot of aspects that you've been holding very close to your chest. But I think this is for your betterment. It doesn't feel like something toxic. With this person, we have the Hierophant. We have the Hermit card and the Four of Wands. This person will turn you into somebody who is soulfully happy. Like this is like the person who helps you find your true path. I think you guys could have an idea of what you think your future, of what you think your dream future is, and this person would create a whole new version of that and upgrade it. But you don't see that now, of course. Does that make sense? Like they give you a whole new idea of what you could have, and because their ideas are so different from you and what you're used to, it's like they would create something you never would have thought of beforehand. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have to watch my words in a weird way, because I feel like this person grates at you, but not in like a toxic way. Maybe it feels like that sometimes, but it's like this person, like I feel like they piss you off sometimes, or they like kind of, you don't like the way they say some things, you don't like the way they word some things, but it's not malicious. It's like this person I feel like is very honest and very blunt and very straight to the point. And I feel like for whatever reason you guys are not used to that. And it could not be that they're blunt, but it could be like the certain things they're blunt about is something you're not used to. Things that you find taboo or uncomfortable to talk about, this person just likes to talk about it. Like I said earlier, they're very intuitive, they're very in flow. There's nothing off limits to this person. This person puts no limits on what they talk about, because I feel like it kind of stunts their energy. If they put something on a pedestal like that, they think it is giving too much power to that thing. Which, I mean, that does make sense, I suppose. Okay, so this alternate version of you I was saying earlier is the version of you that never takes a chance on, I want to say, this connection. It's very fascinating because with the World card here, this version of you has every possible means to make this a reality. You can go there anytime, and I would dare say this is kind of you right now. However, I want to say, like, this is you right now. This is the future version of you that never went after it. And it's interesting because I think if you guys were to never pursue this person, to never take a chance or a leap towards it, you would constantly have this what if feeling. I see like in those movies, you know, when years go by and the person remarries and yet they're still thinking about that other person that they never took a chance on. It's like you'll have this almost divine karmically induced karma left hanging because you never took a chance on this soul connection. I really want to get into like what this connection is and what messages it has for you. I actually might wipe the board, clear the whole table, and pull some new cards for what the main message is. Now that we know like what your energy is currently, somebody triggering you, somebody, I want to say they're batting at your comfort zone, they're batting at your boundaries and urging you, not even urging you, it's like they're tempting you to leave your cave, tempting you to leave what you've always known. I'm gonna clear the table and pull some new cards so we can get a clear like what your alternate self wants you to know. Like, what do they want you to know? Like, besides the fact that I'm hearing you'll regret it and you'll think about it, the what if forever. And I know that sounds so grand, like, if you don't take a chance on this, you'll think about it forever, but this is a very karmically intertwined soul connection with your soul specifically, is what I feel. And like, if you never take a leap on this, you're never going to know like why you're so drawn to them despite the fact that they trigger you, why you're so intrigued by them despite the fact that they're so different from you. Yes, I'm gonna pull some cards. We'll be right back, babes. All right, the first card we got was the Knight of Swords. Clarifying that, we got the Chariot. And then we got the Moon card. Clarifying that, we got the Seven of Cups. And then, last but not least, we've got the Queen of Cups, again. And then clarifying that, we have the King of Swords. This is a connection that is, I want to say it's literally the opposite of you, but it's also not. So usually it's like, we know the Queen of Cups is water, and there's also a Wands category in tarot, so it's not the complete opposite, but the King of Swords, it's like, it is quite different. It is quite like the Queen of Cups is somebody who does things very intuitively. The King of Swords is somebody who does things very rationally and thinks of all the facets of something before they act on it, thinks of all the ways something could go before they act on it. And I think that is you guys. I think you guys could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You do not have to be, but I think you guys are the more logical ones within this partnership. And if you guys were to never act on this, it's so odd, because when I was pulling cards to ask what their main message was from you, it was like to act on this. I don't even know if it's something right now that you need to act on it, because I think despite being a King of Swords, you guys are very intuitive. You wouldn't be matched with somebody so intuitive if you didn't have the capability to be just as intuitive. But with the Knight of Swords and the Chariot, like, your alternate self is telling you to take the bait, to pursue this person, even if it feels horrifying, is what I want to say. You guys do feel like fire and water despite being King of Swords and Queen of Cups. Because of where you're from, it just feels like you're from very, very different places. You could speak different languages. You could just have literally opposite childhood situations. But you guys are like equally enthralled by each other. I feel like this relationship makes me think of those videos where it's like the grounded, what is the ones I see? The grounded boyfriend and then like the witchy woo-woo girl. Or like the guy's like, I don't know what she's doing in there, but she's doing her thing. Or like, they have a very profound respect for one another, because while they are very diverse, one grounds one in, like, person, and the other opens the other person's mind, and they have this beautiful cyclical energetic bond, because they're constantly teaching one another how to, for her, for her, she's teaching him how to touch into his intuitive self more and to see the magic more in things. And I think he's really good at this. I feel like you guys are visionaries. You guys are people who see all the possibilities and things, and you're very good at grounding this into your physical reality, really good at making plans to do this in your reality, whereas the Queen of Cups dreams things, but sometimes she needs help creating them in the physical reality. Like, she needs the exact help that you would offer, essentially. And like, I feel like with the King of Swords, the reason you're such a good match is because the King of Swords thinks with just as much possibility as a Queen of Cups does, if not more. While the Queen of Cups may be more intuitive, you guys, the King of Swords, you still see all the facets of what could be. You guys are still very, very big dreamers, even if it is a tad bit more realistic and logical. It's a very beautiful bond. I feel like it's a very intrinsic relationship, because the King of Swords can see the way that the Queen of Cups wants to create something into the real world. Like, you can intuitively, telepathically understand one another very well. I feel like that's what I'm trying to say. And it's like your guides want to make that very clear, is like, no matter how different you guys are, you have a very unique language between one another that you'll learn as you get to know this person. And I think that's something you'll learn about this person, even if they're saying things very blunt or honest and they trigger you. They're always saying this because that's just how they are. It's like a very... This person feels very loving, very open, very free with themselves. And I think the more you get to know this person, the more you're going to realize that it's not that they're trying to trigger you or, you know, like push you out of your comfort zone. It's just that they've learned how to be so authentically themselves, and they're going to give you the doorway to be the exact same way. They're going to give you the ticket, if you will, to be the version of yourself outside of those rules that we talked about earlier that your society makes you abide by, or then you make yourself abide by. This person gives you like the key to not caring about that, because this person's like lost in their own world. It can be good or bad, right? But it's like, because they are lost a bit in their own world, I feel like this person really does not give a shit what other people think as well. I think they're very naturally different from other people as well. They're very used to being the oddball, and I think you're going to see, as you get to know them, like, that they're not trying to trigger you, that they're not trying to, I want to say, like, ruffle your feathers. They just naturally are different, and that's just kind of like an effect of being around this person, especially if you're not in your own authentic power. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit complex, because this person has a lot of facets within themselves as well. I feel like with the Moon card here and the Seven of Cups, the biggest advice from your alternate self who didn't pursue this person is saying, like, you don't have to sort out the how, the when, the why. I feel like I'm getting this a lot with readings with you guys lately. Like, my viewers, a lot of you guys have very big dreams, a lot of big desires and wishes for yourselves. You don't have to figure out how it's going to happen. Let the universe deal with that. If you're worried about the mechanics because you're from very different backgrounds, or places in general, like maybe you're from a completely different country than this person, you don't have to worry about how, because, like, make the universe deal with that. Put that ball in the universe's court, or God, or your angels, whatever it is you believe in. Put that in their court. Pray for it if you wish. Don't worry about how it's all going to get sorted out, because that's not our job as humans. Like, just you talking to the universe, the God, whatever it is, right? You simply stating first what it is you want is opening the door for this thing. I feel like I want more people to know that. If you simply ask for something, that is opening the door for your guides to help you achieve that thing. Your guides are not allowed to do things without your permission. There's a lot of free will involved in all of these things, right? If you want something, tell your guides or God or whatever it is, tell them, because they can't interfere with your life without your permission. I feel like I need to clarify that for some of you, because it is kind of a tricky thing. We got extra cards earlier, which was the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Cups reversed. I feel like if you'd never pursued this person, it would be a constant, like, thorn in your mind. And I don't say that to be like, this person is it for you. If you never pursue this, you're never gonna feel fulfilled and da-da-da-da. But this person's very unique. This person is somebody who will always be a what if moment. And I think it's some type of past life tie or some type of karmic thing. Obviously it's unique to all of you since it's a general reading, but this person will be like a thorn in your mind. I feel like they're literally sent into your life to trigger you, and I think you are meant to be a partnership. I will pull a card on that just to make sure. Yeah, so we got the King of Wands and the Fool. Yeah, this person's literally sent here to trigger you enough to act toward them despite it going against every bone in your body. With the Fool card, they're inspiring you, or they're meant to inspire you to take on the perception of the Fool. And the Fool is somebody who's kind of foolish, literally. The Fool is somebody who takes a chance beyond rational thought, right? The Fool is somebody who has a very open perception on everything because they're just taking a chance. They're just enjoying the adventure of life. And I think this person's going to inspire you to take a dose of that and to act. I love that we got the King of Wands when I was saying earlier that you guys are the King of Swords, because I was saying that you guys are a perfect balance to help this person ground their dreams into reality, and you get the two best kings for that. That's beautiful. You guys would be a very, like, we look at the opposite card too. Like I was saying, you guys are a King of Swords, so you're not a complete opposite. And then we get the King of Wands, which is the opposite. That's so funny. But I do think this is meant to be a very significant connection. I'm trying to figure out, I do think this is the potential for a romantic connection, but it certainly is up to you. It's up to what you can handle with this person in your life. I think there would be a lot of sexual chemistry with this person because they're so different. I feel like this is the type of person where when you make eye contact, you feel instantly like you've known this person before. Yeah, I think that's it for that so far. A few of the extra cards we got for what your alternate self wanted to say about this was the mystery card, and this is what I was saying earlier, like, let there be some mystery with this. You don't have to solve the entire who, what, when, how right now. We have the Knight card. The Knight card for me in this deck, especially with your guys' reading, this is somebody where, like, you kind of have to go into the dark and trust that you're gonna find your way despite being in the dark. Like, you kind of have to get lost in the dark to find this person. You kind of have to take a leap like you wouldn't usually do to achieve this person. It is so weird. I keep wanting to say, like, you earned this person, and it's not to say that you are below this person at all. I think you guys are very equal, but it's like this person is a prize. This person is a gift to your life, but it might not feel like it at first because they are triggering. You guys just are very different, and there's naturally going to be some, I keep saying squares, like astrology, which is so random. I don't know if, like, if you did your synastry charts, if you would have quite a few squares. Sorry, that's so random. But it's like you would have to pursue blind, basically, and just trust your intuition. Whereas this person would have to stop living in their daydreams to pursue you in reality. You guys are like switching roles with one another. They're learning how to sorry, you guys are pointing out different stuff. You guys are saying that this person might be a bit thrown off by the physical chemistry between the two of you, whereas you'd be thrown off by the, like, intuitive bond between the two of you, like the psychicness. Like, you might dream of this person often, you might think of this person often, like there might be a telepathic thing where you guys easily understand one another. But it's like you have to learn to trust your intuition to get this person, and this person has to create their dreams into reality to ground them. Oh, and we literally have the grounded card. That's funny. Like I said, you ground this person, and this person will help you live more in the clouds, which is cute because we have some blue birds above it, and I feel like that's this person for you, is awakening your imagination and your capability to dream bigger. For the cards we got for what your alternate self said you will become if you take the chance on this person, we got the Destroyer card that says releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Like I said, this person will create an intensely new life, and it's vastly different from anything you could have ever imagined because, like we were saying earlier before I wiped the board, you can't dream up what this life would be like with this person yet because they will fundamentally change you from the inside out, is what I want to say. Yes, because we literally have the Messiah card, serving humanity with humility. This person will give you a much more magical, I want to say spiritual perspective on life as well. This person just changes the way that you approach life, because they see things with such wonder, they see things with such purpose, and I feel like they see the divine in everything. And then we have mentor. Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. I love this. I feel like you guys would be the teaching couple if you pursued this connection. I think, and I love that this card has two people on here too, like the mentor and the student. It's like you guys would be teaching a lot of people. You'd be the couple where I feel like people would ask for advice a lot from. I also feel like you guys could feel like a mentor to this person sometimes. I want to say you guys might be slightly more established or far along in your career than this person is, because like I said earlier, this person might be just now grounding their dreams into reality. They might be newer on their journey of creating wealth for themselves and creating a life path. But it feels like a soul-aligned career path. I feel like for this group, I'm actually going to pull some of these paper slips, which I did not do for group number 1, but I'm going to pull them off camera so I don't set them on fire. Yes, but I want to try to like give some clarity on who this person might be so that you guys can identify them better or have confirmations on who they are. Alright, the first card we have is spiritual. So like I said, this person could be spiritual. We have love at first sight. I do feel like there is like a very instant connection, no matter if you trigger one another afterward or not. We have thin build, and it's funny because I was talking about difference in builds and stuff so much earlier, and we have curvy build right after. So perhaps one of you is on the thinner side and then the other of you is curvier. We have self-sabotages, so perhaps this is you or that person. We have playful. We have afraid of vulnerability. We have separation phase. Like I said earlier, you could have briefly met this person or encountered them, but you might not be in contact with them now. I feel like you randomly see stuff about them though. We have night owl, which is so funny because we literally have a night owl, so perhaps that's why. It's because this person likes the nighttime. We have grounded again. I feel like you guys are very grounded. We have hazel eyes. We have business partner, so perhaps you would go into business with this person. We have unexpected timing. And then we have morning bird. So more opposite stuff, night owl and morning bird. Okay, group number 2, I think that is all I have for you guys today. Please feel free to like or subscribe if you feel called, or to comment down below. I would love to hear from you. I want to thank your guides and my guides, as well as you, for being here today, and yes, until your next reading. Hi group number 3, you guys had this image, and let's get into your reading. So today we're going to be starting off with 2 tarot cards. Every group's been a bit different on what I pull for you guys, so it just depends on what the vibe is. But yes, we're going to do 2 tarot cards and 2 archetypes for who you are currently, 2 for your alternate self, and 2 archetypes as well. So group number 3 is angels, guides, and ancestors that serve their highest good. What are they currently? What version of themselves is group number 3 currently? Thank you. Okay, group number 3. I started pulling clarifiers, which I don't know why I was even doing that, but I was like, whatever, we can go with the flow, so it can be a little bit different than the other groups. But your guys' current self, you guys first got the 10 of Wands, and then clarifying that, you have the Knight of Wands. Your other card is the 5 of Cups. And then clarified by the 5 of Cups, so we have double cards. And then you guys' archetype currently is the healer. And it says, passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. And then your alternate version of you we have the Lovers, clarified by the Tower. And then we have the Star card, clarified by the King of Swords. And then we have the Student. I don't know what is going on with the readings today. I don't know if many of you are watching multiple groups or what the case scenario is, but this feels like a mashup of pile 1 and 2. I don't know what the deal is today. The readings are so funny today because they've been much longer than I planned, as well as much more complex than I could have anticipated. It's so funny because when I started doing this, I was like, okay, we may get some like fantasy versions of themselves, or I don't know, like alien timelines or whatever it is. I don't know, something out of this world, right? And then instead it's like future selves and higher selves, and like it's completely different than what I could have possibly imagined. So it's so funny because I feel like this is a continuation of another group, which is actually crazy because there's I don't know. I wish you guys should comment below and tell me if like you guys are new people watching group number 3 or if you guys are like the same viewers, because I don't know. It's very funny the way things are cycling back. With the 10 of Wands here and the Knight of Wands clarifying it, I feel like you guys are in a time period where you're working on seeing more fun in your responsibilities. I feel like this group is trying to put less weight on themselves and to be a lot more open to things, and to be, I want to say, also a lot more optimistic, which is funny because you have conflicting energies. You have this part of the spectrum where you guys are very busy. I feel like you guys have a lot of different responsibilities and a lot of different things that you have to hold within yourselves, but at the same time you're trying to make light of it, you're trying to enjoy it despite it being a heavy thing. And then we have the 5 of Cups, like double 5 of Cups. There's like shit going wrong. I'm going to ask for a clarifier on what specifically this 5 of Cups is. Okay, this 5 of Cups, we got the Strength card and we also got the 9 of Cups. For you guys, it feels like this 5 of Cups is a loss because something you want to happen, something that you view as a wish for yourselves, has not yet occurred. With this card, I know a lot of readers as well as myself, this card a lot of times talks about the quote, "Don't cry over spilled milk." Like literally in this depiction. I feel like it's also in this one. It's just harder to see, so I'm going to use this picture. But there's all the 3 spilled chalices, and then there's 2 full ones behind him. So he's just staring at the stuff that went wrong when he also does have stuff that did not go awful, right? It didn't fall over. These things were still intact, but he's focusing on the negative things. I feel like that's kind of you guys right now. And the reason I was saying this could be a continuation of pile number 1, it wouldn't even surprise me. Pile number 1 was very complex, so it wouldn't surprise me if this was like a clearer, lighter reading for group number 1. I don't know why I keep wanting, like, let me know if this is a continuation for some of you, because that would be so funny if you were drawn to both piles and this is like a continuation. It feels like you're very focused on this one thing that hasn't happened yet for you, and it's like you're trying to hold on to strength, you're trying to keep yourself going, because we have the Knight of Wands, despite there being a heavy burden aboard your shoulders. You're trying to be optimistic, you're trying to not focus on that, and you're trying to be very positive for people around you. However, the 5 of Cups, it's like you're also holding that loss within your aura, is what your guides are saying. And it's very heavy. Kind of like group number 1, you have this noose around your heart. It doesn't feel quite as heavy and quite as piercing, but perhaps it's because it's different for this group, like it's more of a mixed bag. You guys aren't the ones who are pungently feeling this as some of the people in group number 1. Sorry, I just like whacked the camera. But I feel like you guys are very focused on what's not in your life, very focused on the specific wish, whether it's a milestone in your career, whether it's a connection, whether it's a I want to say like an end goal for certain things in your life. I don't know. Sorry, I'm taking a moment to just sit in the energy. It just feels like so many people in this. I don't know how I want to explain this. It feels like one of the groups that I read for earlier, and I know I keep bringing this up, but I feel like it serves a purpose. One of the groups I'm reading feels like the person that some of you are waiting for, like I'm reading them, and then the other part feels like you. It is so freaking bizarre. It's like I'm reading both sides of the same coin. I don't know, maybe that's for a select few of you. Like I have you, but I also have your person here, and I'm reading both energies. I don't know why that's so funny. Because you're both upset about the same things is what it feels like. So it's like one of you is like, oh, I can't find them, or they're not in my life, and the other one's like, oh, I can't find them. It's like you're doing the exact same thing. I feel like I'm reading both sides of the same coin. Like I'm reading you and I'm reading the lack, especially if this is connection, because for many of you it is. This is basically a love reading for all of y'all today, because we have the lovers here. As we see with the lovers, if it'll focus, maybe. And then it's clarified by the Tower. Your alternate self is a version of you who has attracted their divine love. I was going to say true love, but I want to say divine love because this is the love that is like a lightning bolt. Like it's going to burn every ounce of you that is not going to serve your highest timeline. Like the Tower card is something that breaks something down. Like the Tower breaks down your house and everything you've ever known to rebuild it to what it is meant to be, to rebuild it to serve your highest purpose. And it fucking sucks, right? It fucking sucks when everything's burnt down to a crisp and you have to rebuild it all over again. But your future version, this is so interesting. For you guys, it's your future version of yourself too. Your alternate self is your future self. And I feel like your guys' future self is a lot warmer. I don't know why I keep wanting to clarify that I read the other half of this. It's like I read your other half. That might be for a select few of you. But your future self is very warm and very empathetic to what you're going through right now. Your alternate self is your future self. I'm going to clarify that again in case I didn't say that clear enough the first time. You guys' alternate self feels like your future self who has already received this divine love, who has already received, I want to say like, you guys have several wishes. I think whatever this 5 of Cups is, it's not just a connection, it's not just career. For this group, it feels like it's both. It feels like it's, I want to say a breakthrough in your career, whether it's something like literally like a mental breakthrough, or literally hitting a milestone, like achieving the position you want, achieving the, I'm hearing popularity you want, because we have the Star card here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, for some of you, I'm definitely reading your opposite. That is so weird. What are the odds, right? Because babes, the amount of times I've gotten the King of Swords in the readings today, like I've gotten it for every group so far, and it's like your wish is to meet this star figure, but your wish is bigger than that. Your wish feels like achieving some sort of dream you have for yourself. And I keep thinking of the movie The Princess and the Frog, Evangeline, the star in the sky. So maybe that's resonant for some of you, like you guys watched that recently. But it's kind of like how in that movie Ray always had a dream of being reunited with Evangeline, and when he passed he was reunited with her just as he always wanted. I feel like when you guys meet a person, and I want to say it's a romantic connection because we literally have the Lovers card and then the Tower, like a very big divine connection in your life. When you encounter this person's going to kind of lightning bolt a lot of other wishes you have in your life. They're going to be the key to open the doors you've been wanting to open right now. And I don't know. I love saying that, and I also don't, because it does make it sound like you don't have the key within yourself to open those doors. But I feel like this person, especially because they're a King of Swords figure, they have the means to open doors that you just don't have access to. And it could be that they're more established in a similar field that you're trying to enter. It could be that they have more literal networking connections. Oh, that's so interesting. I'm inclined to tell you guys, if you were drawn to pile 2, not to read it for you as in yourself, but because you were drawn to that picture in general. If you were drawn to pile number 2, that might be how your person's energy is currently reading. Does that make sense? Have you seen those readings on YouTube that are like, if I went to a tarot reader, this is how they describe me? I feel like my second group was your guys' person. Because I literally, if we had the student card here, I literally got the mentor card for them. Like, you guys are roles reversed. You're going to be a student to this person. And I feel like, I don't know, part of me is hesitant to say that because it does sound a little, I don't know, a little odd that like your partner is your mentor and one of you is the student, because I don't like saying that like one of you is below one another. It feels very balanced. Like, you guys are a healer. You're very intuitive, you're very, oh, I love this. You guys are very in tune with yourself, and I feel like you see such beauty in things. I think you guys romanticize things perfectly, and you do it in such a healthy way to kind of spark wonder in other people's perceptions of life. You guys have such a magical way of experiencing the world, and that's going to help teach this person. However, with like 3D matters and manifesting your dreams, this person's going to be the key to accessing that success. Interesting. I love this for you guys because I know it might not sound super swelly, because I don't know, I feel like that some of the people in this group aren't going to love that someone else is the key to their success, right? That doesn't always sound the best. But the reason I love that for this group is because if you guys if you heard the shit the other groups were going through, this group's future self is like, don't you worry, babe, you guys are going to achieve everything you want. Like, with time, it's all going to naturally fall into place. I feel like you guys are really good at doing that. You guys are really good at following your intuition, appreciating divine timing. Even if you are upset about certain things not happening yet, you're finding a positive in it. You're finding the confidence to keep pushing forward despite it all. And I admire that so much. Because your guys' is opposite. If you guys watch group number 2, those bitches are going through the ringer. I don't know what they're going, like, what's going on. Like, I mean, obviously I know what's going on, I'm reading for them, but like, I don't know why there's such a drastic difference in, I want to say, like, emotional weight. Like, you guys are so good at making everything seem lighter. You guys are so good at enjoying the adventure. And since you guys' person with the King of Swords is much more logical, I think you guys would get a kick out of watching their reading, which is like group number 2 for most of you, if you guys are drawn to that. Because it's like, you're gonna be like, they're really upset about this, this, and this. Like, they're, like, I don't know. It's so funny. Sorry. I know this might sound so confusing, because this reading, I don't know what I expected when I started this reading today. In my head I was like, okay, each group's gonna be around like 20 minutes, we'll keep it kind of like at a reasonable time, and then every group is just going over like half an hour, and I'm like, what is going on today? But it's like a big web of readings. It wouldn't surprise me if all of the readings I'm doing today are one big web of one soul family group. It doesn't mean that all of you have to know one another that are like watching these videos, but I think the energies within each of these readings are different people that you will encounter within your soul family, whether it's a divine romantic connection, whether it's a best friend that feels like a soulmate. I think different piles are different people. I should clarify that. I definitely think one of the piles, which is why I keep saying group number 2 feels like your guys' divine soulmate in an energetic reading, whereas like 1 or 4 might be more of like a soulmate friendship. I feel like each reading I'm doing today, and I think the reason I can tell you guys this is because you're my intuitive group. You guys are my psychic group, and if you feel called to gain more clarity on these connections, kind of get more of a bird's eye view of what's to come, what these people are going through, if you're nosy about what their energy is, I feel like that's why I'm telling you this. You guys, I don't know, I love this energy. From how frazzled your guys' opposites doing, it's so nice to soak in this. It's just so funny. I just think, I don't know why it's so funny, because you guys are just off in your little clouds, and you guys are doing your thing. You're healing people, you're working with people. I feel like you guys are my, like, earth healers, or is it earth angels that I hear a lot? Like my star seeds. You guys are the people helping awaken people, and while it is heavy sometimes, and while it is tough, and while you'd like to see more physical success for your fruits of your labor, you're very good at transmuting it. You're very good at, like, I think you guys are on a manifesting kick right now and you're doing a really good job at it, and you're transforming a lot. It wouldn't surprise me at all if you guys are transforming a lot physically as well and you're having like a literal glow up. I just love it. I love it because you guys are, I just know this group, if you guys watch group number 2, you're gonna cackle at the opposite energy. Like, the way you trigger your person is so hilarious. I'm going to pull some cards, and I actually don't feel like I have to wipe the board. With the other groups, I literally cleared the whole table to try to get fresh energy, but you guys feel very level-headed is what I'll say. You guys feel very energetically clear, like you're not super frazzled at the moment, so I'm going to keep everything the way it is, but I'm going to pull a few more cards to ask the specific message from your alternate / future self, since it's both for you guys as well. I will say before I pull cards, it really does feel like your higher self and your future self are just assuring you that all the things that you are wanting to manifest are going to happen. It just might not be on the timeline you want right now, but they are going to happen. Like, you aren't wrong for intuitively sensing the things you've been sensing. It's just not going to manifest as rapidly as you once thought. And it's because you're going to be a student with this person. Okay, so we have the 9 of Wands and the King of Wands. We have the 2 of Swords. And we have the 2 of Cups. Guys, I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but literally these both came out in the last group as well, in 2. Yeah, I really feel like your message from your alternate self is saying that this person is coming in. I feel like you guys are kind of on the brink of not giving up, but you're kind of done waiting. You're kind of done waiting for this connection to manifest, especially with the 2 of Wands here. And like the King of Wands here, this is not on your end. I should clarify that heavily. This person is the one that needs to act, and that's why I was saying it might bring you a lot of peace and clarity to watch group number 2 if you think that that knowledge will be less of a burden and it will alleviate some of your weight that you're feeling right now. This is, and like the ball is in their court. Like, I don't know why it's funny. Because like none of this is your guys' problem or your fault. I feel like I need to be very clear with that. This person is triggered by your energy. It's interesting that I have to like pluck out their energy while I'm reading for you guys, but it's like I need to be clear that the reason certain things aren't manifesting, or the reason you haven't met this person, is because they're working through triggers that you trigger in them. And I know you might be being like, Ambrosia, they don't know me yet. I think they do on some sort of energetic level. I think on some capacity, if they've dreamt of you, if they've seen you online somehow, somewhere, if they've seen your work online, if they're in your work field but aren't like in your immediate environment, somehow, some way they do know of you. They could literally be watching readings and know of you in that sense. I don't know, man. But this person does know of you. It doesn't have to be a physical meeting. It could be a very energetic type meeting that this person's subconscious mind knows that you would trigger them currently. Why is the wax falling as I say that? This person knows of you though, in some capacity. It doesn't have to be a conscious awareness. But I just need to say that it's not your fault that this is not manifesting. This person has some things that they're sorting out before they can meet you. And I also want to say with the 2 of Swords here, don't stop yourself from making certain decisions right now because you think it'll impact you meeting this person or your success in your career. If there's different avenues that you want to explore right now with your career, do it. Have fun with it. Create more sparks of fun in your life. Create more spontaneity is what I want to say. Don't let yourself get in your own head and stop yourself from doing things that bring you joy because you're waiting on this person. It is coming in though. Clearly your alternate self gave you the card, the 2 of Cups. It is going to come in. It is a divine connection meant to be in your life. It's just not happening as soon as we thought. And I feel like I want to say we thought because I might have done a reading with you guys previously where it was meant to be like now, like they're meeting now. Is there a group that I was talking to was like where it was you guys are going to meet, and May or June or July. It still could be around June or July, I'm saying, but I don't feel like it's May. This person's got some stuff to work through. But your higher self and your alternate self is saying that, like, this is happening. Don't, like, doubt your own intuition, because this person is still working through stuff before you can encounter one another. I am going to pull my crystal card for this group. I didn't do this for any of the other groups. I feel like this happened the other day when I pulled cards. I did this for my intuitive group as well. I want to pull a crystal to help you align with your highest timeline and this person, so you can focus on yourself while you're waiting on them to get their little life in order. What does group number 3, or what crystal would best benefit group number 3 with manifesting their highest timeline? Oh wow, that fell so deep under my desk. Where did it go? Okay, I got 2 cards perfectly placed on top of one another. So we have 𝙿𝚊𝚛𝚊𝚕𝚎, oh my god, 𝙿𝚊𝚛𝚊𝚕𝚎. 𝙿𝚊𝚘𝚕𝚎. I believe that's how you say it. It's number 21. And then we have, what are these crystals? We have 𝚿𝚊𝚛𝚊𝚕𝚎, 23. I gotta whip out the book for these suckers. 𝙿𝚊𝚘𝚎. I've definitely pulled that card before. And I know it has to do with order. Yeah. So 𝙿𝚊𝚘𝚎. Organization, orderliness, clutter clearing, list making. So if you guys feel a bit stuck with your list making and seeing clearly, especially with the 2 of Swords coming out, seeing clearly with what is ahead and like what you want to do with your day-to-day to-do list, 𝙿𝚊𝚘𝚎 will really help you clear that up and see clearly as you plan out your week. And then 𝚿𝚊𝚘𝚎. I could really be pronouncing that poorly, but bear with me. 𝚿𝚊𝚘𝚎 says, wisdom from within, inner truth, aligning with divine intelligence, trusting your own earned wisdom. Yes, yes. So if you guys need to have a dose of trusting your own intuition more, 𝚿𝚊𝚘𝚎, is that how it's pronounced? 𝚿𝚊𝚘𝚎. It's no way, it's an EU, right? If you need more help aligning with your highest timeline and trusting yourself within it, especially if you feel like you're kind of holding a candle in the dark and walking through a cave, 𝚿𝚊𝚘𝚎 is going to be very beneficial to helping you pursue your highest timeline and not getting lost along the way. I'm going to roll the zodiac dice before we wrap up here and just give you guys a few confirmations in case, oh wow, it got blurry, in case you guys need it. What is group number 3's zodiac? We have Capricorn, we have Scorpio, we have Taurus, and we have Libra. Okay, Venus signs. Alright, group number 3. I hope this reading resonated and brought you guys some clarity. If you guys feel called, please feel free to like or subscribe. I want to thank your guides and my guides as well as you for being here today. Please feel free as well to comment down below if you guys watched the other reading and it sounds just like your person. I'm very curious to see how that overlaps for some of you and if it resonates. And yes, I will see you guys in your next reading. Hi, group number 4. You guys had this image. And let's get into your reading. So we're going to start off by pulling 2 tarot cards for who you are currently and 2 archetype cards as well. And then we're going to do the same thing for what version of your alternate self, or what version of your alternate self wants to come through. So group number 4 is angels, guides, and ancestors that serve their highest good. Who is group number 4 currently? Alright, I'm going to organize these cards and we will be right back. Okay, group number 4. I'm going to start off by saying this because I feel like this is happening a lot in this reading today. It feels like a lot of my readings are meant for the same person, but for more than one group, if that makes sense. So like for some of them, I'll use group number 1 as an example. For group number 1, it feels like 1 and 2 kind of link up in different ways, and like the same person could get messages from the same reading. I hope that makes sense. Granted, it could be a different pairing for each of you depending on where your energy is at currently. Of course, it's a general reading, so maybe you guys are drawn to 1, but I just wanted to point that out. Like if you were drawn to more than one pile, it may be beneficial to check out the other pile as well to get a more in-depth reading with it. Because these readings are very complex today. I don't know what the deal is with today's readings, but there's a lot of overlapping energy. It's very, very fascinating. But you guys' first card for who you are currently, and I did this again for you guys. I pulled tarot and tarot clarifiers instead of archetype cards, so I wonder why that is. I did it subconsciously. So we have the King of Cups for you guys, clarifying it, the King of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands, and clarifying it, we have the Queen of Swords. And then your alternate version of yourself is the Page of Swords. And then clarifying it, we have the Sun card. And then we have the Hanged Man. Clarifying it, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, this feels like a continuation of another group. And I'm not going to say which one because I want to leave it open for you guys in case you're drawn to a different group than I state. So group number 2, or 2, oh my lord. What the frick? See, I'm revealing it without even saying shit. I keep having Freudian slips in this group, it's crazy. Or in this group, in these readings, like you guys are all so interconnected. I swear this has to be the same person watching multiple readings though. It is, of course that's like for some of you, not all of you, but it's just so bizarre. I've never had readings interlink like this. It literally feels like a chain, like each individual metal piece. It's so weird. It's so fascinating, don't get me wrong, I love this shit, but it is so strange at the same time because of all the readings I've done, which is like, I don't even know how many. It's just all intertwined today, which is so cool to read and see. But with the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, you guys are somebody who's very, very emotionally intelligent. Someone who's very, I want to say wealthy as well. You guys, if you don't describe yourself as wealthy, you will have at least achieved a lot in your career that you are proud of. If it's not like physical monetary wealth. But with the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, you're somebody very emotionally mature, somebody very grounded, somebody who can rely, who other people can rely on. My bad, I'm mixing them up. However, with the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords clarifying it, I feel like there is some sort of Queen of Swords figure that you have encountered recently that triggers you. And it's fascinating because in doing so, this person is awakening you to your inner child. This alternate version of yourself feels like a mix of your inner child mixed with your future self. It's like an alternate version of you that is more aligned with your childhood self as well as aligned with your highest. Like, think of everything you've ever desired in your life. Think of every dream you've ever had. It's like all of those dreams have come true in this reality, and you've also not lost touch with that spark that your childhood self possessed. You have both. You have the magic and wonder, and it's like wearing rose-colored glasses, you know, when you're a kid and you can look at something and make gold out of nothing. It's that kind of wonder that you guys possess in this alternate timeline. And it's funny because this Queen of Swords in your present life is awakening this version of yourself. This Queen of Swords, I want to say, let me double check. So we got, yeah, okay, I'm hearing Divine Reckoning. We also got the Queen of Wands to describe this person, so you guys would view this person as rather blunt. You guys would view this person as having a spark, as having a fire to them. I feel like this person glows to you. This person has something different about them that stands out. It makes me think of the Star card and of Aquarian energy. But we also got the Ace of Swords and the Justice card. This person awakens you to divine truths, and I want to say they do it because you guys have a karmic contract. Sorry, I don't know why I'm speaking all mashed up in this group, but you have a karmic contract for this person to awaken you. It feels like this person for you guys is someone interesting for you guys. when I said that, I was thinking of a group. I don't know if some of you are in like a business group. I feel like for some of you, you might literally be a part of a group where you work. Like, I don't know, like a collaborative type group. This doesn't have to be for everybody, but for some of you, this person, this Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands mashed up figure, is somebody who is meant to teach your collective group. Is someone, I want to say like a spiritual advisor, a spiritual teacher. They're meant to be that for your group. However, if this is for you individually, it just as much applies. This person is like a spiritual mentor to you. And it feels like right now this is a distant relationship. It feels like right now, especially with the Page of Swords, this is someone who you get a lot of inspiration from, someone who kind of awakens you and illuminates your perspective, especially with the Sun card here. They illuminate your perspective into something more optimistic, something sunnier, something with more hope tied into it is what I want to say. You guys could be my pile. I said like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, that has a tendency to be more pessimistic, but this person unlocks your tendency to be optimistic. It's like they influence you to be more positive and to have more hope woven into your heart. It's very beautiful. I feel like I don't know why I want to say this. I'm stuttering now, what the fuck. I don't know what the deal is with me cussing with certain groups today. It's so strange. But usually, I don't know, I feel like whenever I read, I'm not usually cussing, because when you're in a flow state and when you're channeling, you're not thinking as much. And I don't know, I don't usually cuss as much when I'm in that state, because I'm usually using other words I don't use in day-to-day conversations, which sounds a little odd if you're not familiar with spiritual channeling. But it feels like, I feel like I'm explaining that because your person does something similar. Your Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands figure does something similar. I was going to say, and I think I said this for group number 3 for a different group, if you guys wanted to get a glimpse into how this person's energy is right now, I don't know why I feel like all my readings today are interconnected and like you guys are all a part of some big web, but if you wanted a glimpse into the spiritual figure, I don't know why I want to refer to them as that. If you wanted a glimpse into them, into the type of person they are at their core, because I feel like as much as they awaken your mind, as much as they, like literally this Ace of Swords card is showing like doors being unlocked literally within their mind. As much as this person does that for you, and possibly a group if you guys are within a group, you don't know much about them. For whatever reason it is for each of you. But I think if you guys watched group number 3, I think it's the picture that's like Technicolor. That is that person. That person's soul is Technicolor, definitely. But that energy in that reading is very similar to this person's energy. It's very bright, it's very loving. It makes me think of Disney, honestly, like a Disney princess mixed with like a, I don't know, like because like I feel like they're blunt. So there's a little spice mixed into there. But this person just feels like they awaken you. And it's interesting because I've had groups today where they have an awakener of some sort and it triggers them a lot and they don't like it. I want to say that I feel like some of you are watching this reading with other people. It feels like you're watching this in a group setting, which is so random. But I wanted to say that for some of you. It feels like you're watching this in a group setting, because when I think of that, I hear people laughing, like finding it amusing. Because this group, whoever chose this group, doesn't mind that much. You guys like that this person expands your mind. You like, especially with the Hanged Man here, I'm hearing you would like marry the way this person expands your mind, because you like how they push the bounds of your traditional perspectives. You like the way that they make you think outside the box beyond what you're usually thinking. You guys, I'm hearing like you admire that about this person. You like are addicted to gaining more knowledge from this person and seeing things through a brighter perspective. But I feel like if you're in a group setting, other people in your group don't like that. Other people in your group are triggered by it, and you guys are the ones who like understand this person really well right off the bat, which is very interesting to come out. Why is this coming out right now? I want to ask, why am I being drawn to tell them more about this person and this connection between the two of them? Why is this resonant for this reading right now? Because I want to see why this is beneficial. Yeah, we got the 8 of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. This is somebody that you are meant to work with, and I would dare say that, once again, this could be a group thing. And if this is somebody like who chose this group and you're not in a group setting, like you don't work in a collective, collaborative group, this reading still could be for you. But for most of you, I feel like you are in a group of some sort. And that this person is here to awaken you guys. It wouldn't surprise me if they had like a pet as well, like a familiar of sorts. I'm getting drawn to the little black cat. It makes me think of my black cat. I have a familiar. Just like that. But this person is meant to work with you, and if you're in a group setting, they're meant to work with the group. I know I literally said that right off the jump, but I was like, well, why is this coming up? Because this is an alternate version of you reading, and I was like, well, why are we talking about this person so much? Why do they matter? But it's because they're meant to work with you more hands-on in the future. Like literally this person's etching in a pentacle into this pentacle, or a piece of gold. You're meant to work with this person more hands-on into the future. But the reason why I feel like you're not currently is because other people in your environment, other people, if you're in a group, are not ready for that same hands-on thing. I feel like you guys are. You guys feel very, very balanced. And whilst it might be kind of harsh realizations from this person in the beginning with the 7 of Wands, your guys feels like a bit of like mental abrasion. And then you're like, okay, but I see what they're saying. Whereas other groups who had this card come out, it was a lot harsher and a lot more grating on their psyche. It took a second for the words to flow into them rather than just feel like knives against skin. Yeah. So your guys' alternate self feels like somebody who is very curious about the world, somebody who sees the potential in little things, somebody who feels limitless, honestly. And I think you're somebody who has a tendency to enjoy taking pauses. I want to say in your spiritual beliefs and in your like personal beliefs with the world, I feel like you would be best friends with this figure. Like whomever this person is to you, while it might be like, I'm hearing like, damn, what the fuck did they say? Why do I want to cuss so much for this group? There was a group that I had like this the other day and it just makes me laugh. It's like, you know, when you're around people who cuss all the time, so you cuss even more. I feel like you and this person would be like that around each other. Like, you guys would cuss more and more around one another because you both cuss a lot with each other. Like, I don't know if it's the energy between the two of you, but it's really funny. You guys both like just get like really into your conversations and are very passionate about it and just very open with one another. I want to ask, why is the 7 of Wands here? I was double checking and I was asking why the 7 of Wands is here because I did get that with another group, and like I said, I feel like some of the other groups, if you guys were to watch each of these, especially if you're in a group setting, sorry if you guys are not, and I keep saying that and it's like, stop saying that. But if you are in a group setting, I do feel like with the 7 of Swords reversed here, when this person says something that grates against you, you have more of a perception of, oh, like, that's, like, it might be abrasive, but it inspires you to change, whereas other people in your group, it just, like, digs into them and they don't want to change it. Does that make sense? I don't feel like you guys are as hard-headed as your other people. I don't know why I feel like this would be very amusing to some of you to watch. Like, it makes you laugh to, like, hear that you guys are doing better at digesting this information that this person provides you spiritually. Even about like life though, it just feels like this person's like a life coach in a way. I'm going to ask what specific messages your alternate self has for you besides what's come up already. I love the energy between you and this person. And honestly, I don't know what your guys' perception is with it, but it feels like this person that you receive enlightenment from, you guys already feel like best friends energetically, even if you haven't physically met yet, because for some of you it feels like an online mentor. It feels like somebody who maybe you watch content or read books by this person or whatever it is. I do feel like you guys could like work with them though. It doesn't feel like it's out of your reach, if that makes sense. But with the message your alternate self has, I asked for like an overall message. We have the Ten of Wands. Ignore how messy the layout is. Four of Wands and Three of Wands. Lots of Wands energy. So my advice from your alternate self is, if you have certain things that aren't resonating with you in your life, if there's certain things in your life that are causing you more burden than fulfillment, I would try to get your ducks in a row and try to get rid of these things or work these things out before this person comes in, because I feel like this person's going to give you a lot of shit for it. Like, if you meet this person and you're talking to them, like maybe when you, I don't know, when you, I want to say hire them or work with them, or it's interesting. It's like, I feel like you guys are going to collab in a way, but it feels like this person's a friend as much as they're like your life coach or your mentor or your it's so funny to me because when I tap into this person, they feel younger. They feel younger than you, I mean. But I think that's the benefit of this person with you and the other energies I read today. Them being younger gives them a fresher perspective on things. Like I said earlier, if you want to get like look into this person's perspective, watching group number 3 is really gonna help you with that. But with the Hanged Man here, like this person, if you're gonna sit there and tell them that you have this, I don't know, like that you have to do this thing for X, Y, and Z reasons, they're not gonna show empathy. They're gonna tell you just to not do it. Like, how do I want to explain that? They have empathy because they know you're doing it out of like a dutiful reason, sure. Say like, I don't know, like you sign up to, oh great, my dogs are barking. I don't know if you can hear that. Say you sign up to do something because you know it's the right thing to do, but you don't really want to do it. This person's the type of person to be like, don't do it if it doesn't make you happy. Just don't. Like, why are you doing that? Because they want the best for you, and if you're in a group, they want the best for all of you. They don't want you to waste your time doing nonsense, is what I keep hearing. Like, that's why we have the Four of Wands here and the Three of Wands. This person wants to help you build, I want to say, like a life that feels aligned. And not just for you, but for like your, I keep wanting to say work environment. If you are some like person watching that's one person, I think you will become a work group, or you'll have like a friend circle where you're all in the same career of some sort. It just feels like somehow, some way, there is a group with this group. Like, there is a group within this group. Like, it's not going to be just you, the person watching this. It's going to be a collaborative thing. It feels like this Queen of Wands / Swords figure is somebody blunt and fiery. And I'm hearing, like, amusing. This person's very amusing. They might be a bit different from you guys. You guys. See, I keep wanting to say plural. There's someone who would help you build a more soulfully aligned life. I don't know why I'm called to say that. Why am I saying that? Thank you. Yeah. If there's certain things in your guys' lives, see, I'm gonna say plural again, in your life and the people you're working with life, this person, despite, I want to say they're younger than you, despite being younger than you, they don't put up with that shit. Like, I don't know if, there's certain norms in your career field, if like that's just the way things are done. This person doesn't care. If you're doing something that's really corporate and really not aligned with your guys' souls, this person doesn't have empathy for that because it's not in your highest good. I hope that makes sense. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, you should just do that responsibility because every other person in your field does that. They're gonna be like, no, you should be the ones to change that. You should be the one to do better than the other people. Does that make sense? Like, we have the Nine of Wands and the Five of Swords reversed. Sorry guys, my battery died, but with the Nine of Wands and the Five of Swords reversed, oh, I'm getting off track. Sorry, I'm already blanking. That's the channeling thing I was talking about. When I lose my flow, I forget some things. even if it's going to cause conflict. I think that's what I was talking about, going against the grain, doing things that are better for you and your path or your group's path. This person would prefer for you to be uncomfortable to make your life more aligned with your true selves. I hope that makes sense. Like the Three of Wands is all about leaving certain things in the past and planning for a future that is more aligned with yourself and planning out what it is you want to do. Not doing things because you have to. Or not even, like, I'm also hearing like overworked. I don't know if you guys have a tendency to overwork yourselves. This person is not going to, I'm hearing they're not going to admire that, and they're not going to let you do it. Like if this person had any say in it, they would not let you do that. They would have you, like, I'm hearing like you haul your entire perspective with what you do. It's very fascinating. I'm going to pull a few cards for what this person's going to help you become, and there's also I'm going to pull two for what this person will help you become, but also like what you'll become, like what your alternate self has to say about it. So I got a message from, I think it was, I don't know, group 2. I don't really remember at this point, but we have the athlete card. It says dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. And I had a message in one of my groups earlier talking about how the perspective that you might possess on your physical body. So like if you're in a culture that's priding it on being what is the word, diet culture. I guess that's a thing happening a lot right now in US culture, is diet culture, like protein everything. Sorry, that's just funny. I feel like I went to, was it Starbucks the other day, and they're like having protein coffees now, and if you look at it, it just looks all like lumpy and gross. But I feel like this person is going to help transform what you see as a healthy body. I don't know if you come from a culture, like I said earlier, that has diet culture, that like, I guess we are in like a really heavy skinny culture thing right now. I feel like the US, because that's where I'm from, or I live, and we used to be more of like the diverse bodies place, and we still are, I guess, but like it is really a trend right now to be really, really thin, especially if you look at like Hollywood. Everybody is so insanely skinny right now, it's actually crazy. This person is not on that wavelength. This person, I feel like, encourages people to indulge, to enjoy life, to be healthy, like the athlete, like to work out because you're treating your body properly, to not like worry about looking a certain way but feeling healthy. This person's somebody who would set new standards in your mind of what like a healthy body is. I hope that makes sense. They'd push your boundaries on it. I feel like some people in this group might have a warped idea of how they have to look. That's why I'm saying that so much. And this person, I think, is going to help you and your group, if you have a group, get out of that shell. Oh, this is fun. We have Don Juan. It says spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. Perhaps this person is someone who's very comfortable in their sexuality. It would not surprise me at all with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords if this person just talks about, I don't want to say they talk about sex, that'd be so random, but they're like comfortable with taboo topics is what I want to say. Especially with Don Juan here, like, maybe, I was gonna say, maybe they are talking about sex. Am I allowed to say sex on YouTube? Is that something that gives me flagged? I don't even know. I should look these things up before I start yapping on here. But I don't ever look up like what the limits are, like they get you flagged on YouTube. So I should probably do that when I edit this. But I feel like this person has no topic that's off the table. And I feel like that's something very different than perhaps your usual crowd. Perhaps you're around people who have more conservative mindsets. This person does not. This person, I really feel like they're free-flowing with the Ace of Swords here, like how they awaken your own mind. This is somebody who's just, they're open to talk about anything. I feel like, especially, it makes me think of my parents. They might be from a family that just has no limits on conversation. I was raised in a household where, like, there's nothing my parents didn't talk about. Or my mom was a nurse, so, like, we would talk about, like, gory stuff, I suppose, at a dinner table when you're not supposed to be talking about those things. This person, I feel like, is kind of free speaking in that way, where they forget that there's different limits, or like certain things that make people uncomfortable because they're so used to talking about certain things. And I don't mean it has to be gore or whatever, but I feel like it's even like spiritual topics that are taboo. It could be sexual related stuff. It doesn't have to be. It just feels like this person doesn't view anything as off the table to talk about, and I feel like that's something you'd really enjoy about this person, and I feel like they're going to make you more comfortable with stuff as well. Like, you'll feel a lot more open to talk about certain things with people, and you'll see that, like, if you can't do that with people in your life, then is it worth keeping people around where you have to filter yourselves constantly? And of course there's limits to this. Like, sure, there are certain family members where, like, they just can't hear certain things. I don't know, I have certain family members where, like, you have to filter yourself a bit, but with friendships with people, you can choose who is in your life. I think this person will really help you realize how appreciated it is to have that openness in relationships. And then for what your alternate self says that you will become, and I guess this whole reading is in relation to this person and this like you are being awakened from this person, but I think this is also the person you'll become along the journey of not just with this person, but this future version of you that we were talking about earlier, that this person helps you achieve. We have Angel, helping those in need with no expectation of return. I don't know why I spoke like a prophet there. We have 𝚘𝚘/miser, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. I love that. I feel like with the Angel card here, this person, see, now I'm bringing this person into it. This person really allows you to see how easy it is to help people even in day-to-day things. I think this person gives you a new perspective on how small things make a difference in people's lives, because I feel like we were saying earlier, like, you guys could be fairly far along in your career, you guys are emotionally mature. With that, I also feel like you guys might be slightly more guarded because it feels like you're older than this person. It feels like this person just kind of free flows, whereas you guys still have some armor on yourselves when you go out, which isn't inherently bad, but I think this person will give you a new perspective on, like, how much armor you need around strangers. This person feels like somebody who compliments strangers often, who, like, makes people's days in really tiny ways is what I want to say. It makes me think of when people talk about when they get a compliment from somebody when they're walking on the street and they, like, remember it forever because it made them feel so good. This person has a way of bringing that magic to day-to-day interactions, of brightening people's days often is what I want to say. And with the 𝚘𝚘/miser, I think this person helps you see how much power you hold. I think this person helps you see, like we were saying earlier, how limitless your life is and how you can do literally whatever the hell you want with it. I think this person really awakens you to just knowing that you can do whatever you want and that you don't have to live by certain boundaries that other people may have placed on you. This person helps you become a dreamer, but since you guys have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, they help you, I feel like they help you tap into being a dreamer more, but you guys are already very naturally good at grounding things, and they help you like mix the two, if that makes sense. Like, you guys have a lot of dreams and you are good at grounding them, because I feel like you do with the King of Cups, but it's like they push your limits even more. It's fascinating because I think you guys are very naturally aligned, you and this person, even if there's certain things that are different about this person or polarizing is what your guides are saying. But it's like this person allows you to see how truly powerful you are. Like, the Midas turns nothing to gold, right? Like, they can turn anything into gold, and this person lets you see and, like, awakens you to see within yourself how true that is for you. I'm going to pull, I'm going to pull two more tarot cards from this deck and see if there's anything else before we wrap things up. This is so interesting. I've had this come out for every single group today. This is why I was saying it's all intertwined. We have the Lover's card clarified by the Five of Cups. So for some of you, this could be a romantic connection that you feel you're lacking. For others of you, it is a very deep, deep, deep soulmate type friendship that you feel you were lacking. So take whatever resonates, but it's like no matter, because I think some of you are watching this with a group. I keep saying that, I know. Or some of you are in a group. And I think if you're in a group, this person is this person is somebody's soulmate, but for others of you, they're your like platonic soulmate. Does that make sense? It does feel like this is like somebody's soulmate, and then it's the rest of your guys' platonic soulmate, and you guys all feel the lack of this. This person is like a missing puzzle piece to your group, which is so interesting because I was like, well, why am I keep getting a group thing? It's because this person is like a missing piece. This is like something you guys notice an absence of in your day-to-day life, and when you encounter this person, you'll be like, this is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been missing. So for some of you watching this could be romantic if that's what applies for you. For others of you, it's a platonic soulmate if that's what you feel like you've been missing. I think for this group, I think I did this for group number 2? I don't know at this point, babes. It's been like 3 hours. I don't know. It's been a long time. We'll have to see when I add all the footage up together. It's been a long time. So I'm going to pull some paper slips so you can try to get clarification on who your guys' Queen of Swords or Wands is, since they played such a big role in your reading. Before we get into that, essentially, your alternate self is saying that you're about to transform into a very curious, a very limitless, infinite version of yourself who thrives on, I want to say, like, immersing themselves in differing perspectives. And I feel like you'll feel so much more whole internally because you're looking at life in such a vast way. It's like you're looking at the whole globe now instead of just one country. Alrighty, so we've got independent, which definitely fits with the Queen of Swords and Wands vibe. We've got muscular build, which is so funny because we got the athlete card earlier. We have mysterious, and like I was saying, I feel like you guys know what this person talks about and says, but you might not know about them. So once again, if you feel drawn to it, watch number 3. I was like, what is it? 3. My voice is cracking because I'm parched. From another country. So like I said, this person could be very different from you. We have green eyes. We have ambitious. Lovely. We have smart. We have brown eyes. I wonder if you guys have different colored eyes like you and this person. Like very different eyes. We have observant. Because I'm getting the mental image that you guys might look rather different. But like internally you're very similar, which is very cute. Like you're opposites, but you're also the same. Secret relationship. And this is kind of what I wanted to say earlier. I was saying for some of you, it feels like they're going to be a life coach or a spiritual mentor of some sort for you or your group if you're the group part of this pile. But they could be a secret weapon of sorts. They could be somebody who, like, not everybody knows you work with them. Does that make sense? Like, they're not somebody everybody knows you're collaborating with. They're like your guys' I want to say prized possession, which sounds so odd and territorial, but I don't know. It's what's coming out. We got adventurous. I do think you guys would treasure this person. I'm going to pull a couple more to see if there's any more appearance things and not traits. I'm dropping 50. No. We've got, oh my gosh, we've got spiritual. Like I just said, we've got they feel like a spiritual mentor. Unexpected timing. So you guys could be finally working together in person on an unexpected timing, during unexpected timing. Oh wow, what? Okay, so we just got public relationship. So I don't know if this is something that starts off private and then it becomes a public relationship. That definitely could be the case since both of those came out. Like, what are the odds? We have needs control. So perhaps that's you guys currently, and this person teaches you to lessen your grip on things. And last but not least, we have tattoos. I don't know why I said that. We have tattoos. I think I'm bugging out because this reading's been so long. Because this is the last group of the day. Yeah. I think that's it, group number 4. Sorry, thank you for bearing with me. I want to thank your guides and my guides, as well as you, for being here today. And if you feel called, please feel free to like or subscribe, or comment below if you want to share anything. You guys were such a good group to wrap it up with. I love your guys' energy. And yeah, I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you for letting me read you.